Hello everyone, welcome to another match in the Z2R Random Percent Tournament. We have a Game 3 in the first round between jkoper and Xarnax. It's not an elimination, because it takes losing 2 series to be eliminated from this tournament. We've got Elendar and VixRider on commentary, and they will be splitting up the tracking as well, and I will leave it to them.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. I'm here with VixRider.
Hello, everyone.
Warming up before we're off again later this week. But we got a Game 3 first between jkoper and Xarnax, both very, very old school runners in the Z2R scene.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very much looking forward to this one. It's been evenly matched so far in the first 2 games. Let's see what craziness we see tonight.
I really think that a lot of these old school runners have a little bit of an advantage in this flag set, because so often you get things that we don't normally run that are kind of more similar to like the old 3.0 days or potentially earlier.
100%.
Yeah, and so, these two are going to be familiar with some of the old weirdness. We might have, more vanilla palaces. We might have more vanilla overworlds. We might have items not shuffled, and we definitely won't be having 2 lives here.
Nope, and so it looks like we're starting with the Raft and the Flute tonight, along with Spell and Dash. Oh.
Yeah, I'll let you click on them.
All right.
Hey, you get a Dash seed. I think the last one of these 2 had a Dash. We haven't seen. I feel like every seed that I see is vanilla fire, and it makes me sad.
And we have a trophy in Trophy Cave, so that's a good indication that we could have vanilla overworld items, and also that the flag that the fetch quest items are required for their spells, which is a flag that can be turned off.
Yep, we're also seeing P2 on the west, so maybe Palace is not shuffled. Maybe they are. It's one of those things. It's one of those things where like everything that you find is a piece of evidence towards what the flag set is, but it's not a guarantee quite yet.
Koper finding Medicine Cave.
Okay. I understand he probably wants to get. Okay, that's not completely surprising. That heart container being replaced with a key. They started with 5 hearts, so we knew at least one of them was going to be.
I see a land bridge. And what is better than islands? An islands biome? Why not islands biome with nerfed boots?
Yeah, that's a fun one. The boots internally in the code, the flag that makes the boots walk on water anywhere is referred to as good boots. And so I've taken to calling the bad boots, as Koper here is going to get
early thunder.
Ooh, nice. So that trophy extremely required.
Maybe.
Maybe. Thunderbird, of course, something like 60 or 65% to be required in this flag set, but. And Koper's going to take a bridge to what appears to be an island's Death Mountain.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Could be a canyon. Hard to tell quite yet. And jkoper rightfully decides he doesn't want to be there. If it is vanilla items, Death Mountain not often required.
Koper finding Jump Cave. Not really much we can do. So it looks like we might have to dig through Death Mountain. I didn't really see another direction to go without those boots.
Yeah, it's possible. Well, they don't have palaces and logic. I was going to say it's possible if the that was just a coincidental couple items, we could get some boots in that palace to get us progression. But yeah, no. So we're forced early DM with bad boots to lead us elsewhere is going to be an adventure. At least they've got uncastable Thunderspell.
Oh, Koper with a nice 200-point P bag.
Yeah, he's going to take attack. I don't blame him. Attack 1 is hot garbage.
Yeah.
This attack 1's a little bit better. There was some really weird logic in earlier versions of the randomizer that meant that attack 1 was always 2 damage, but attack 2 could be like in a really it should the vanilla value is 3, and somehow plus minus 50% meant it could be anywhere from 2 to 5. Just not how that works. But the logic now is a little bit better. Attack 1, not always 2 damage. It's 3 damage about 30% of the time.
Oh, that is very disappointing. The Daira is giving just 30 points.
Yeah, and they're not going to be able to go through that cave. They're kind of wishing the jump was in its vanilla location at this point, I'm sure.
Yeah. So Koper has found more of the west, and it looks like Xarnax is going to start exploring this DM.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious where Koper went that Xarnax didn't find, because Xarnax did that southern section first.
So, yeah, but before you go all the way up to where the Death Mountain Bridge is, there is a bridge to the right that lets you go across.
100 points for a Daira. Koper going to take magic too. This makes sense. Maybe he can make dash castable. I'm not going to check though. I guess this is a bit of a dangerous screen to push dash. Okay, yeah. So we've got vanilla P bags, but we do have shuffled drop pools because that was small enemies dropping the 200 bags.
As Xarnax gets a 200 bag himself.
Yeah, and Xarnax here, power leveling magic, trying to get something to be castable.
Yeah, Xarnax has been dashing, as Shift mentions in chat.
Yeah. I do like it, as long as you're not going to die. Going fast is good.
So, Koper found the other end of what looks like Parappa Cave? I didn't see a second item, or a second enemy, crawling around on the floor.
Yeah, this is Parappa.
And it leads to nothing.
Yeah, actual nothing with bad boots.
Xarnax having a time with these Bogos and this Goria right there.
Yep, he's going to get a nice life refill to reset any mistakes there. I didn't see if either runner started with up or down stabs, but it looks like
I don't believe they have any.
Looks like no. The chance to start with stabs is very, very weird. I made it. It works a little bit differently now, but it still has the same odds that Dig Shake's Old Bath did. So the way that it works is the chance to have downstab shuffled is 2/7, but the downstab and upstab rolls aren't independent events. So if you do have downstab, you're 50% chance to have upstab.
Oh, and we have a Palace 5 sighting on the west, so
okay,
we
so
do have
shuffled
palaces. And
yeah.
Xarnax is making his way through Hammer Cave.
Yeah, he's probably going to get a hammer here, unfortunately.
I mean, for him, that's a good thing, because he can get back to Death Mountain and find that rock and immediately get another magic jar.
Yep, Xarnax going to do the despawn. I still have no idea how that trick works, but it does.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
If you go into that screen and then you leave and come back, it despawns the first enemy. I don't know why, it just works. So Xarnax confirming we are on vanilla items here. Koper seeing that this is Mito. We do not have town signs on.
Nope. And they both noped out a medicine cave, so we don't know another 3 or 6 on the west. So we have 2, 5, and 3 or 6.
Yeah, it's a little weird. They nope. I understand noping out of Medicine Cave if you don't know anything about the flags, but like once they already know that spells are shuffled and the medicine actually exists, it's not just a pee bag, then I feel like you really want to get that, like especially, I mean, they knew spells were shuffled from the beginning, but that could still be fairy.
Yeah.
And that could be very useful, both for getting through these encounters and also because at some point these palaces are going to be in logic.
Mm-hmm. Xarnax did a little bit of a dig of P2, saw both ways were key locked, only has one key, and decided just to stop while he was ahead.
Yeah, if we're on vanilla, we get a spell check. It's just vanilla bots. We did not roll that flag on. Okay, Xarnax's gonna do Medicine Cave, and 133 he'll be able to power through that no problem.
Is jkoper looking for Bagu?
I definitely could be.
I didn't have to look too far.
Yeah, this is
there. He is.
It is 50-50 whether Bagu's Woods is going to be like a whole contiguous woods like this or just an isolated forest tile. But if Bagu's Woods does spawn, all of the like Bagu Woods are next to each other. So jkoper probably figured, well, this is a big forest. I've got, one of these encounters here. This is probably Bagu's Woods. I'd like to pick this up.
That's fun.
Okay, so overworld items not shuffled. Palace items are shuffled. Horsehead's got those bad boots.
That is a grade A connector that jkoper just found.
jkoper's going to check that. So long-standing 4.2 bug that is, I'm fairly certain, a 4.0 bug. Taking a cave off of Maze Island is not in logic.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that for a long time either. And I think this goes back to 4.0 or potentially earlier. The way the logic checks things, it never checks caves as being accessible coming off of Maze Island. It's a very, very weird bug. But as a result of that, you could still taking a cave off of Maze Island could be helpful. It could still coincidentally be good. Here turns out not to be useful, but
that's good to know.
And jkoper thinking about what he wants to do here, decides he's going to check this east. So jkoper basically found the entrance to the rest of the seed.
Yeah.
That's an interesting water bridge there. Unusual to see a water bridge / divider like that on a bad boot seed.
Yeah. Also, we're finding out here on the east that the Aikmen, the red bats, are fire kill only. So they get to live.
Very, very rude.
Oh, now we get to check and see if another flag is on. Your favorite flag and mine, are magic jars required?
Yeah, jkoper only has 4. So he will not be able to get this 50% of the time, and come back when you are ready. I need to add "come back when you are ready" into the community text pool. People go onto the Discord, go into the community hit suggestion channel, and suggest to me some text that we could get instead of "come back when you are ready." Rebenak rides with the cross. Okay, that's some more useful information. Just to tell you that that's not where the glove is. We know the glove's going to be in one of those palaces, not going to be 1 or 3.
Xarnax finding the rock and able to get that magic jar.
Yeah, and he's going to be happy when he finds out that we are going to need those magic containers for spells, because if it turns out that Fairy is hanging out behind a whole bunch of magic containers, it could be very rude.
Yeah.
I didn't actually remember what was the gem count in this one?
4. It's a 4 gem seed.
4 gem. Okay, so reflect probably not needed, but yeah, at 4 gems, fairy is one of those things where you're like, if you find the any key, you think you could probably get away gambling on not having fairy, but it's one of the big questions is going to be whether community rooms are on or not. There are a higher concentration. I believe the concentration of fairy required rooms is a little bit higher in the vanilla set than the community set.
It looks like red Lizalfos are also unkillable.
Very exciting. Okay, Xarnax, having found Bagu, going to be able to cross the moat here, decides against it.
No, it's Koper. Koper found Bagu.
Oh, Koper found Bagu. Okay. So
Yeah, this is the first time Xarnax has been to this particular area of the West. Okay.
It's an awkward set of enemies. Just cast Thunder, yeah. Oh, wow. Very, very rude. 20s and 30s for those enemies.
Yeah, I hope you. I hope you like doing things at low levels because you're not getting experience this seed.
Yeah, thankfully, they've got to do four palaces. Okay, Koper. And the really rude thing is not only are Magicatators required, these signs are off to tell you what spell it is, so they have no idea what spells are locked behind these 4 towns in the east.
As Koper just finds P1.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, and I don't blame him with only 1 key going in for a dive because this is such a terrible spot for it.
He also knows that the boots are here. So if he can steal the item from here, that could be useful coming back in the... useful coming back to the west. Take the... I think Koper take the life spell up A, and then he could use jump spell to get that key. Or I guess he doesn't have jump spell.
He doesn't have jump spell, no.
I thought they had jump spell. That's right. They have spell and... Right. Okay, so Xarnax's going to be able to get this spell because he picked up his medicine.
Yes.
And this will be something. He will not be able to pick up his mystery stab, though. Well, odds are actually pretty decent. This spell is going to let him be able to get the stab. We've got 5 spells left, and 2 of them are good. Oh.
And reflect.
Okay, that's interesting. Oh, that's right. I keep thinking gotta go fast is one of the dash specific text for that, but gotta go fast is in the general pool. That's an old one. A lot of the dash specific texts when you pick it up are Sonic references.
It looks like Koper just found a massive loop.
Yeah, it's not really what he's looking for, but
no.
Yeah,
unfortunate.
This east is like it's a little good and it's a little bad in that you're not going to be able to get any of the spells from it, but also if you do find
and that's as far as Koper can go.
Oh, it's a shame because that's the item room.
So the community rooms definitely are on. So
yeah. So community rooms rolled on is a useful thing to know. One of the biggest changes is it makes elevators a lot better. Because all of the vanilla item rooms are either left or right, and there's no elevator item rooms or pass-through item rooms. But if community rooms are on, the item rooms could be anywhere. I believe the boss rooms are all supposed to be to the right. But there was a bug in 4.0 where special boss rooms could appear even if community rooms were off. And I'm not sure if that bug is fixed for this version or not.
Fair.
I know it was there in 4.0. I know it's not there in 4.3. The in between. It's all a bit fuzzy.
Xarnax is digging through this palace. I haven't seen a window yet, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, is he back in P2?
This is a 3 or 6.
A 3 or 6, okay. 3 or 6. He doesn't have the hints that that 3's item is junk, but
yeah,
I feel like if he did, 3 or 6 is probably a bad call. But when you don't know, you might as well take a gamble. And it seems like we've seen a decent number of keys in these palaces. It's possible extra keys is on. Should make doing these palace digs a little easier. Jkoper, meanwhile, has gone back to the west. He's going to check across this moat here.
Yeah. We'll see if anything's on the other side. I don't believe there's really anything else. Like, there's still a couple outstanding caves in the west, like Magic Cave and Peabag Cave, and Heart Container Cave. But
yeah, Magic Cave gonna be a big win. You still very much unknown how many Magic Containers are gonna be required to beat the seed.
Also able to get the spell, so if this is fairy or jump, this could be big too.
Yeah, for sure. Fairy, huge. Jump, just nice. Goes this man.
And it is fairy, and it is a very castable fairy.
Yeah, it's a very cheap fairy. Not quite 2 casts at his current level, but 1 more container and he'll be able to get 2 casts per life. Though it looks like they've got a lot of... They have a lot of lives to potentially burn for fairy casts. Still, the difference between 1 and 2 is pretty big.
Yeah.
Okay, and Xarnax finding a P-bag in this 3 or 6, confirming that extra key's not on.
Yeah, we only saw the 1 key on Jkoper's side in P1 that was inaccessible.
Xarnax had picked up a key earlier too, but those were just regular old keys. It's possible. It's possible they're just not shuffled. It could be small item shuffle is off.
Xarnax being very liberal with his thunder.
Yeah, I don't necessarily blame him. He doesn't need it for fairy. He doesn't have fairy.
Yeah. Jkoper's back into P2. Is already running into a bunch of doors.
A little surprised both runners are so aggressively doing these out of logic palaces. Well, I guess not out of logic anymore for Jkoper.
So, TAH, Bagu might be required if we have a fairy block.
Yeah, if we have a fairy block, obviously Bagu could be required. It is also, since we have dash here, it is possible the logic could require you to cross the moat with dash plus jump. Though, obviously with Bagu...
I did not know that was in logic.
Dash plus jump to cross the Sari emote is in logic now. It was not in older versions, but that is a thing you could be required to do. It's pretty rare. Obviously, it's only going to come up if dash is actually in the seed. But it happens sometimes. It was funny. I put it into the logic, and I wasn't sure how long it would take before someone actually found a seed where it was logically required, because it's kind of a rare occurrence. And Mirai had one come up the very first seed he tried. So, but yeah, that being said, it's a pretty rare occurrence. It could be a little on the annoying side, because dash and jump are both spells that go down in cost a lot, but are kind of expensive early, so you might have to do a little bit of grinding for it.
We have a window, so we have P6 here on the west.
Yeah, it was starting to look like P6 was likely anyway, given how long Xarnax has been in here. It's gonna really suck if he gets key blocked out of here. Meanwhile, 34 magic still just kind of haunting Cobra here. One of the things where if Xarnax had gone and gotten his fairy spell here, his additional container would be a huge benefit right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here's okay, never mind. This isn't the fun one. There's a room where you jump up these blocks like this, and there's like a gap in the middle. And that room is a really interesting one. That is another one of those rooms that logically could require the jump spell or the dash spell. So that room is dash or fairy or glove.
Interesting.
But Xarnax keeps getting extra keys, makes the jump. That room's tricky if you want to go down there, and it's
that jump is not easy.
It's a lot safer if you. It's safer, but it's a little slower if you drop into it from the right side and then make the loop going the other way. Oh, grab the charge, Xarnax. You can despawn the key door there. I think that's the one you can despawn the door. I don't remember. I always just try it. And this is going to be an item room, I believe. Xarnax doesn't have a key.
He's got 3 of them.
Does he not? No, that's the. I think that's the item room. Because that was one of the broken item rooms. I don't understand.
We might have to ask him about that after.
Because the only reason you would not be going in there is because you didn't have the key. But yeah, he definitely has keys.
Both of our runners now in P2.
Maybe we're wrong. Maybe he does have that hint about the candle being the item from 3, and once he found the item room, he was just like, well, this is useless. But no, that was 6, not 3.
Yeah, it was 6.
We have no idea what that item was. That could have been the glove. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that wasn't the item room, but
as we find the candle in 2.
Yeah, but that's the same item room, right?
Yes, I think it was.
Yeah, because that's one of the rooms that used to have the despawning item bug.
Koper heading back in, going to look for Helmet Head. Hopefully place his first gem.
Yeah, that room used to have the cool property that you could see the item without opening the door by just going up close to it. But unfortunately, the door being so close to the item made it vulnerable to the despawning item bug, and we had to move the door back a little bit.
Xarnax is having a wonderful time with this blue knuckle here.
Yeah, it's extremely rude. I don't know. Sometimes I don't understand Xarnax's logic and stuff. I don't know. He's pushing these palaces out of logic really hard. Okay, that's smart. It's a smart Thunder. And he just found the boss real quick, so he's gonna be.
Koper's one room behind him.
Yeah, he should be first onto the board, assuming that he gets a reasonably quick kill of this Helmet Head.
Koper taking an intentional death to refill his health.
Yeah, that's smart. Well, also he I don't know. I think he needed the magic as well.
Oh yeah,
he's not Xarnax, doesn't have a bunch of keys in reserve.
Yep, you're right.
Maybe Xarnax's plan is just like he came out of 6 with a bunch of keys and decided, well, I'm just going to borrow all these keys and do some easier palaces.
Yeah, there's really nothing wrong with that.
All right, so both of them, first gem onto the board. Xarnax, looking at, that's 2, right? Is that 2? I
Yep.
don't remember. Yeah.
That was 2.
Yeah.
So we know there's nothing in there. We know it's the candle.
Yeah. So he's moving on. Koper moving on. We'll see which direction they go to. Koper probably going to go and do the other palaces here. It looks like Koper, he's just looking for like a tiny bit of experience to get this level. He's going to take it up A. He's looking for a tiny bit of experience. The bouncy cat not making it easy on him.
There, he got the Daira.
Yeah, now he's going to take attack 4, and then it's quicker to up A than to walk back across the bridge.
Yep.
Xarnax finishing his exploration of the Far East. Hopefully this is going to lead him to his fairy spell. But it looks like logic is going to be to go east after this. Like, in theory, palaces are in logic. One of them's got the glove, but which one, we don't know.
You can also get the boots in 1 and take that land bridge to the south, or that water bridge to the south.
Yeah, that could be required if like Magic Cave is hanging out there, and it does turn out that we need some more containers. The only problem with our container problem is that we know where all the required spells are, don't we? We know where Thunder and Reflect and Fairy are at this point.
Yep.
So none of the container spell is going to be any more than a nicety.
Yeah.
And it turns out GP is really hard. You might want a shield spell or a life spell or something, but
Koper's going to be
sorry.
Yep. Koper's going to be heading in to Mito here in a second. Grab Reflect spell, which will let him do P4, which is a bit of an easier palace than 5.
Oh yeah, for sure. Quite a bit shorter on average.
And we'll see if this is down stab or up stab.
He's hoping for down. I'm sure chat's hoping for up.
It's up stab.
Oh. Not only is it up stab, apparently our runners have had up stab this whole time, and we just didn't see them using it. Yep, that's a big old troll. And this is at least, Reflect is potentially going to speed him up. He doesn't know where P4 is, I believe.
Yeah, he found P4 on Maze Island.
Yeah, so.
The thing is that Reflect spell is very expensive. So he needs another jar or more levels to bring it down.
Yeah, I mean, if he needs another jar, there is one hanging out on Maze Island, so.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm him, I'm going to go pick that up regardless once I'm on the maze. Probably not too hard to get, and lack of magic has been a little bit of a slowdown for him up to this point.
Koper's bailing on P6.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially once you already have Reflect, you probably just want to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't stick your face into P5 or P6 unless you need to. Although, possible the glove could be in one of those anyway, so.
Yep.
I think the safe plan is to do P5 there, but the faster on average plan is just do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if the glove isn't in any of those, then you say, well, I guess I gotta do P6 or something.
So Xarnax back in Death Mountain. I think he's looking for a connector to Maze Island in the east.
Yeah, he just didn't find that cave that Koper did that led to the rest of the seed, and he's thinking that connector is going to be somewhere on Death Mountain, and unfortunately, it is not. I don't remember exactly where that cave to the maze was, but
I believe it's right here, just south of Rauru.
Oh man, there's a bad boots bridge blocking access to that southern part of Death Mountain too.
Yep, there's the maze, just south of Rauru.
Oh wow, he was right there. That really sucks. So somehow, despite being in the east or the west for quite some time, Xarnax manages to miss the two key things that were hanging out there that he needed.
Koper finds P-Bag Cave.
He's low enough on experience that he's interested in a P-Bag. I don't blame him. This could get him a level pretty easily if he just kills a couple more enemies. And if small item shuffle is off, I believe this is always going to be a 200 bag.
Except
small item shuffle is definitely on.
It's unfortunate.
It was a little hard to tell because a couple of the small items we had seen in palaces were their vanilla items, but again, it looks like there's another redundant bridge that leads to that section of the west you can't get to without the boots, but it's also a boots bridge.
Yeah.
Which is just wonderful, because yeah, that's probably where I don't think we've seen Heart Container Cave or Magic Container Cave, and I think our runners would really like either of those. Koper thinking about, he had a little bit of hesitation there before going, and I think he was thinking about, do I want to try and find that magic container? Decides against it. Just gonna go straight in. With 4 lives available, it's a little less of a gamble because you're very likely to just be able to take a death.
And he's already over halfway to his next at least life level, so it shouldn't be too hard to get to Magic 5.
Yeah, for sure. Although knowing jkoper, I think that if it looks like a reasonable option, he very well might try to roll for attack 5 with this boss kill. But it sort of depends on how the palace ends up treating him, and so far, not well.
Well, like I said, the biggest problem is at Magic 4, Reflect is not castable.
Oh, it's not castable. I thought it was just expensive. It's hard not castable.
It is 65.
Okay, then yeah, he will definitely be taking a magic level as soon as he can here, which shouldn't be that long. It's probably only 1,000 or 1,100 or something. I'm sure he already looked at how much it is. I was not paying attention. Ooh, good damage boost off of the rock there to get through both of those enemies. Oh. Koper successfully saving himself from the lava bath with a fairy. This room is extremely cruel if you try to go through it quickly.
Yeah, Xarnax, unfortunately, finding no way out of Death Mountain. Gonna have to go back around to get to that cave south of Rauru to get to Maze Island.
Yeah, and a lot of possible paths for Koper. He's gonna decide on this bottom right. Oh, that's not the one.
No, but there might be a key or P-Bag there.
Yep. He decides he doesn't need it. If extra keys is on, and I know that room is a key, I'm almost certainly going to go get it without knowing for sure that it's a key. Ooh, 1480 is the magic level. But he's got to take it.
That's a...
And unfortunately, no glove to go down there and get
Yeah,
that iron knuckle P-bag combo.
Taunting him.
Yeah, the iron knuckle under the ceiling too is pretty easy to kill safely for some nice XP, but nope.
So this red knuckle will give him 100. Or it'll just drop a blue jar.
Oof. Will, I think, let him cast Fairy, but...
Xarnax back into 2.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did Xarnax get the hint that the cross was in 3?
I thought that he got the hints, but I don't know.
Because I'm wondering if he thinks it's vanilla dungeon items.
Yeah, I mean, that would explain him not getting the item in 6 and coming back here to 2. If you think it's vanilla dungeon items, you see the item room in 6 and you're like, cross, nah, that's not worth a key. And jkoper just stabbing away. Ooh, 150 points for those.
Yeah.
He'll have his magic level in no time here. Not going to fight the blue iron knuckle, though. To take his chances with the Doom Knocker instead. Makes sense. Nope. Doesn't make the jump. He's going to have to take a death, but he's still got a couple lives left. 4 lives also been a really big blessing here.
Yeah. That is a funny room. So we found a loop of a room that loops into itself.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing that happens sometimes. The cruelest thing that can happen, especially when community rooms are off, is a room looping into another copy of itself. So it looks like a loop, but it's not actually a loop.
I had a seed like that the other night where I had, I think, 4 drop rooms in a row in GP that were all the exact same.
At least you know that it's actually different rooms. It's extremely rare for drops to create full loops like they do in vanilla. In fact, I think it might actually be impossible on this version. The drop logic is very weird.
jkoper just saying, nope, I'm just going to ferry over all this mess.
Yeah, unfortunately, Fairy doesn't look like it went down substantially in cost at Magic 5. Usually it does. Magic 5's an inflection point for Fairy and the vanilla cost, so it looks like it rolled out pretty poorly. All right, Xarnax is out of there.
Where to now, Xarnax?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's got to be a cave that you missed, or nope, he's just
back into 2.
Okay. I'm saying, there has to be something else logically that you can do here. The good news is he is going to find his item room sooner or later and be off to nicer palaces. Meanwhile, jkoper just finding every wrong way to go in this P4. We said it was faster, and definitely not looking that way.
Oh, and the bubble takes down Xarnax. As we find Karak.
Yep, here is a Karak. Xarnax, of course, gonna have to take a death, but I think he's got 3 lives still.
He's got plenty of lives.
Absolutely no problem. The funny thing is, because of how expensive Reflect is, was the boss item wasn't keys, was it?
No, it was 1-ups, I believe.
Yeah, so jkoper's gonna have to go take another death after he kills this boss. 1-ups are like a red jar, just with extra steps. Xarnax very disappointed that he finally found this item, and it's a candle.
And is this where the panic sets in? Like, I left an item in 6 now?
Yeah, I think so. This is smart. He took a save the last time he left instead of a reset because he was, he's so close to P2, and that meant that he could hard reset the console if it turned out the item was bad and get all his keys back.
Koper finding the item room in P4. My mind just short-circuited there for a second.
Yeah, let's find out what it is.
Oh no, and he accidentally casted Reflect.
Time to go take another nap. And luckily, he's got the lives. Yeah, Xarnax. Is he gonna try and do this without jump? I don't think you can make this without jump. Logically, it requires dash and jump to go over this pit. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like
I have to say, I didn't actually test whether this was possible without jump, but yeah, no, it is not. And just a pea bag for Koper, and he is upset by the seed.
Mm-hmm. Now he's got to take one more death. No, Bean, he has one life left, so he'll be fine to get to place the gem.
Yeah, he got the extra life from the boss, which is going to let him do this. And yeah, unfortunately, these drippers not dripping out an enemy, which would kill him a little faster, because these bubbles are taking up the sprite slots. Yeah, because the side of Saria Xarnax can get to is the bridge side instead of the town side, he's not able to get that hint as to where Bagu's Woods is.
No.
Change for 4.3. I moved that hint onto the Riverman himself instead of the bot, the sleepy bot. So it will be a little bit kinder in the future, but for now, Xarnax just gonna have to find Bagu's Woods. I mean, like, he found the, that he found that big woods earlier. Like he's the weird thing is he's been like right next to all the places he needs to be, and then just not gotten the last little bit of the way there. It's been very sad.
Yeah.
Okay, he was on the way to Bagu's Woods.
Oh, he's checking this soul forest tile.
Okay, well, this is the way to Maze Island, I think. So that's not Bagu's Woods, but it's good. Gonna let him advance to the seed.
And Koper is heading east. He's not going to go searching for that jar.
Oh, I thought this was the way to...
He still has to go left a little further. Or is he... he's going to go back into 6. Or not.
Or not. He knows there's something he missed on this overworld, and he's looking for it. And it's where he needs to be. He's on the right track. But he's just not finding it right away. He needs to cross one of these bridges, check out these woods. He needs to go south from there, and that's what he's doing. Yeah, Xarnax's use of dash, though, even as he's made some mistakes, has definitely helped him to, not be way, way behind.
Looks like Koper's heading back toward the area where P1 was.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're going to do Fast Palaces. P1's going to be it. But did we have a hint for the horse item? I'm forgetting what our hints are.
Yeah, it was boots.
Yeah, so where's our glove gonna be?
So we have 3, 5, or 6. I will be right back.
Try not to drown. Thanks, Riverman. Jkoper not going to be able to pick up his spell once again, but he is going to be able to do P1 now freshly in logic with his fairy spell. And man, hopefully with how bad P4 was, this one's going to be a little nicer.
We'll find out, because he didn't make it in. He didn't make it very far in the last time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right, Nat. 3 has the cross. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So Xarnax picked up his spell here. Disappointed that it's Reflect and not Fairy. Oh yeah, he already has Fairy, but...
No, that was Fairy.
Yeah.
Reflect was in Mito.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, he's got that now. Now the palaces are actually in logic. We'll see if Xarnax decides to go back to 5 at any point. If he does, and it's Glove, that could be the advantage he needs to catch up. Yeah. Because he's going to need something to catch him back up here, and a correct guess on Glove would be the easiest way to do that.
But there is also always the possibility that the glove is not required. It's a low possibility, but I have seen it happen.
Yeah, I would estimate, I don't know, probably 5, maybe 10% in this flag set. It's impossible to say. We don't know whether it's long or short GP. We don't know whether Thunderbird's required. It's a gamble, but a gamble you can make, as opposed to like in Standard where it's an insane gamble. So this is P6, right, for Xarnax? He's back in P6? I think I recognize this color.
No, this is 5.
This is 5. Okay. If this
6 was a blue, like a bluish color.
Yeah, if he's at either 5 or 6, that's good for him.
Jkoper picking up his boots.
Yeah, that could be useful. Haven't actually seen. Hammer is in Hammer Cave. We have vanilla overworld items this time, but shuffled palace items. And so we can still ask the question, where's the glove? Is it in 5? Is it in 6?
As we find Horsehead.
And Jkoper now wishing Horsehead did slightly more damage.
I mean, he's got he's got a giant mace. You'd figure a giant spiky ball would do some kind of damage.
Yeah, when Gooba hits you with a spiky ball, it hits really hard, but Horsehead is much weaker.
Mr. Ed needs to start working out.
Yeah, well, all the damage for the spike ball comes from your core, right? If you look at Horsehead, right, he's real built up top, and
there's a glove. Oh, that is what Xarnax needed to get back into this.
Yeah, HUGE, huge. And Xarnax is out of there. He doesn't even want to clear P5. He's like, I got a glove.
And I don't blame him one bit.
So Xarnax 2 palaces behind, but 1 glove ahead. And the real question is going to be, so Jkoper at this point, I think he has all the hints. I think he's going to know that glove is going to be in 5 or 6. Having that information, do you go and do P3? Just hoping that it'll be a fast palace and that you won't have to dig for the boss in 5 or 6. Or do you just say, forget it and go straight to 5 or 6?
I think that kind of depends, because if 3 is in Valley of Death with, only 1 cast of Fairy per life, that could get dicey.
Yeah, well, 3 is unlikely to be at Valley of Death at this point, because it's 50% chance that GP shuffled out of Valley of Death is on, and then another 50% chance that it would be 3. So 75% of the time that's going to be GP. That's probably how you want to gamble it. but
There's always that possibility.
yep. I don't know. I feel like I'd be, if I remembered all of my hints, which it's a dubious proposition. I'd be
exactly
upping right now and doing whichever of 5 or 6 is closer to the start, which I believe is 6.
5.
Is 5? I thought 5 was like all the way in the southeast.
So they both are, but 5
Okay.
you have to go. 6 you have to go all the way around. 5 is like halfway there.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, that's going to be a little unfortunate for Xarnax, because jkoper 2 will probably just do whichever of 5 or 6 is closest if he decides he needs to look for the glove there.
And jkoper finding your best friend in mind, the downstab.
Yeah, and he will be able to pick it up with a little bit of magic refill here. He's going to cheese his recovery, casting some spells uselessly to keep his magic recovering so that he can cast Fairy on this screen and end it full magic.
Shift bringing up a good point too, that Xarnax has been using the dash spell extremely well. Except for when he just missed that jump and went belly flopped right into the lava. But yeah, the dash spell definitely has been helping him.
I'm a very big fan of the dash spell, and I don't think I'd cast it in that room.
All right, so jkoper has an advantage to get back to 5. He's got these boots that'll take him to, instead of having to walk all the way around.
Yeah, and he is going to check that in. Ooh.
He's trying to do fairy feet. Didn't quite get it that time, so he's going to take the intentional death. Recover his magic.
It is faster to take this intentional death and then get fairy feet the second time.
And Xarnax finding a drop room in P4. We did not see that on jkoper's side.
Yeah, this P4 was so long and convoluted that I do not remember where anything is.
So there's one cave left on the east, or on the west. It looks like it's that cave there to the left of where jkoper is. And it's boots locked from somewhere. So I
think you have to go like right and then down and then left, if I recall, but I don't know for sure.
I have no idea. There's that also has to be Magic Container Cave. And I saw a water bridge there.
Yeah. And Magic Container Cave. Yeah, maybe he's gonna decide it's worth going out of his way for with very still only 1 cast per life. Xarnax's extra container and his high magic levels have really paid off.
Yeah.
So far in this seed, as he's going to be able to put a second gem up on the board.
He needs more magic.
I mean, if he could take the death. I don't know, maybe he's on his last life and he's just looking for something to grind, but he's gonna find orange iron knuckles. No, he's gonna die on these. If you wanna die, just die on the boss. It's much faster.
jkoper is into 6, so those boots a little bit of a disadvantage because it took him to the south route, which got you to 6 before the north route would get you to 5.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of made sense in that for him this was the closer one. I'm sure he was hoping to find a way to Magic Container Cave as well.
Yeah, not that this is the wrong play. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a very reasonable decision that just happens to be incorrect. And Xarnax continuing to use his seemingly endless supply of keys, and he's going to place his second gem of the seed. He is still going to need to find how to get to Maze Island. Somehow, almost an hour into the seed, Xarnax still has not found that. 4 is in Maze Island. Okay. He's going to check the cave.
That, I think, is the cave to where you need to go to get to Magic Container Cave.
Rude.
I saw a land bridge there, and that has to be because that's the second. No, never mind. That'd be the third way in the west.
Yeah, I don't know. So Xarnax actually going to be able to pick this spell up here to see what it is. It's not going to be a required spell, but life would be nice. Maybe shield. Xarnax cast and dash about 12 more times just for the fun of it.
Just making sure it still worked.
Yeah, it's if you want to do the sort of casting spells while your magic is refilling, you got to be a little bit careful about it. A red jar will recover an amount of magic equal to your maximum magic. The magic lady will recover 255 points of magic, but that is the limit. She will eventually stop. Yes, that's 2 entire 8-bar sections, but if you really spam on it, it will stop eventually.
So it looks like that was the jump spell in Nibiru.
Jkoper was full zombie for a second there, and unfortunately took a death coming back up.
Xarnax heading down into the area where P1 is.
Yeah, it's a good quick palace. Jkoper thinking about that P bag, but doesn't want to risk going back up to get it. And a big old dead end for Koper.
Oh, that is a big P bag though.
Interesting. That was a 700. So
yeah.
P bag shuffle is on. We just had. Those must have been +2 200s on the west.
Yeah, and that honestly, the 700 kind of throws you through a loop because if it's low, I'm like, I don't mind burning this amount, but now it's like I'm only 700 from a level. I'd feel more inclined to walk it back. And keep going and see what I can get. Instead of just up and nang and immediately heading back to the front of the palace.
Yeah. He's still got plenty of resources, so
yeah.
These extra.
Oh, that's not good.
It's not good, and it is good. It's not good in that he's not going to be able to continue easily. It is good in that it's going to get him out of this 6 and into P5.
Yeah. He gave it up because I believe in this version of the randomizer, if there's a glove block in the dungeon, the glove can't be in the dungeon.
That is not true.
I know it was true at one point. I don't remember when it was. I always get it mixed up. I can never remember which one's true and which one isn't.
It wasn't true, and then it was true, and then it wasn't true again. It was. It is in 4.0. There was some very weird logic where the glove was allowed to be in a glove blocked palace, but only if that palace was level 2.
Interesting.
Now the glove can be any palace that has the glove can have a glove block in it. But obviously only if you can get to the glove via non-glove passages.
So we'll see if Koper decides when he finds his glove here in 5, if he's going to keep going on to find Guma, or if he's just going to bail and look and see if he can find probably P3, because P3 would be the best bet.
Yeah, I think you keep going. I think if you're already here,
you're already here, you have 3 gems placed.
If you were at a really low level, maybe, you thought beating Guma might be difficult. But, oh man, Xarnax just a tiny bit short of being able to cast Fairy. But yeah, Koper at 4, 5, 6, a couple extra lives, 6 bars of health. should be fine. On
yeah. Both of these runners here are skilled enough to be able to do a lower level Guma with minimal trouble.
Yep, and Koper successfully holding right finds his glove. So
taking the drop to the top of that room.
Yeah, because of the way this room works, that drop almost always is a loop onto itself. It is, I believe, technically possible in this version to not be, but it would take a very rare set of circumstances for it to occur. And most runners are just comfortable trusting that it loops into itself and just speeding that room up a bit.
Xarnax finishing off Horsehead. Oh no! Oh, that is bad for Xarnax. He does not have enough magic to cast Fairy, and he is stuck in a soft lock.
And this is a classic trap that can happen. And when you run these seeds, when you run these flags, it's enough. You get in your head and you internalize, and then you haven't run them in a while. You haven't run flag sets like that in a while, and you forget about it. And and that's why you always see Koper. If he's going into a boss, he doesn't have enough magic to cast Fairy. He takes the death first, and then goes and kills the boss. So that's going to be a little bit of time. He's going to refill his magic. He knows exactly where he's going, and he'll be able to speedily dash his way there.
The nice thing about is this happening in P1 is P1 is a short palace. Koper finds Guma.
Yeah. He was thinking about not killing it right now because he knows he needs to get the item, but he's gonna go in here and stab Guma. And I know I said that Koper always takes the death first. I think.
Oh, he saw the room before had a couple of ropes in it that'll let him.
Yeah. Also, he just taking one hit there. He's very low on life anyway. And burning a life in advance on Guma is one of those things that it's like, well, if you game over on Guma, you're gonna feel real stupid. So
this might be an issue for Xarnax. Does he have enough magic to cast for 2 casts of Fairy?
He does not.
That's a problem.
He does. He does have enough for 2 casts of Fairy. Because he has that extra container. Koper can't, but Xarnax can. Because it's still 34 at Magic 5, but Xarnax has 80. I forget that he got that container from Death Mountain, and it's really paid off. But yeah, no,
it's not if he dashes. Yeah,
he needs to. Unfortunately, he needs to slow down, which is not a thing that he wants to do, but he has recognized that at this point.
And Koper is farming. Looks like he's farming for another. He looks like he's trying to double level here.
Yeah, if this level's a magic level, then he doesn't need to take this death. And also, I'm sure he's really, really hoping at this point that he can get Fairy to where he has 2 casts.
Yeah. And these rawheads aren't giving away decent experience. Just a couple more of them.
30 is pretty fine. You might need to reset the room. Xarnax finally placing his 3rd gem after a little bit of annoyance. And it should be the last head. And okay, this is attack. Well, the next level is not even magic either, but he is still going to get a double level out of it. Going to be nice.
So the thing is, he could let that ride and get magic 6.
He could.
Because he could just walk. He could just walk from 5 down to Maze Island and just go from there.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, though, he's heading into GP.
I mean, he has to go to Maze Island. You have to go to Maze Island to get to the east.
Yeah. I might think the life level is more valuable than the magic level anyway at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I had a 5th jar, maybe, but with 1 cast of Fairy in GP with no keys, that's terrifying.
Yeah, well, he's going to walk it out regardless of what he takes. We'll see in just a second.
Yeah.
walking it out just the right thing to be doing here. And he does take the life. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Thunder is castable. That's really the main concern. You're gonna be very careful about that. It's definitely a thing that runners have done before. Definitely not me. Is head into GP, get all the way to Thunderbird, and realize you can't cast it.
I mean, that's better than... Pardon me, better than Upstarts when one of the seeds in the qualifiers, I went to GP, got to Thunderbird, forgot to pick up Thunder. Or no, went into GP, found a jump block, and then realized I forgot to pick up Thunder after I went back through that jump block.
Oh no.
Jkoper finding the kid cave, not really much to do there. Looking for the jar.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Jars are good.
Well, makes sense. And there were a lot of early encounters in Maze Island, so that tells me that... Oh, and there it is.
Yeah, very nice.
Nice and quick Maze Island.
Easy pickup. Guaranteed to be there, unlike the heart containers. For now. That's a thing Marai's been talking about, is making magic containers shuffle too, and then what does that mean as far as the logic?
Yep. Xarnax heading back to the maze, gonna up an A, refill his lives, and
I don't think he is gonna up an A.
He just up and A'd in before.
Okay. I was gonna say he was on 5 lives, so he could not up A.
He just did in P4. So
okay. Well, I mean, refills his stats. I think he had an extra life there he could have held on to, but it's one of those things you don't think about.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, and then Xarnax also here going to look and get his extra container. He wants to dash more. I also don't blame him.
So now the problem is there is a chance. I think in this flag set there's a chance that GP can be hammer blocked.
Not on the east. There are no hammer block pads on the east, which is weird.
No, like the forest.
Oh yeah, but yes, there's a 25% chance it's not in
slim.
Death Valley, and then if it's not in Death Valley, it has a very slim chance to be hammer blocked. Yes, it'd be about I'm gonna guess somewhere between a 1 and a 2% chance at this point.
Yeah, highly unlikely, but not at all impossible.
For sure, and not impossible is the things you worry about. Jkoper gonna go in the hidden town of Kasuto. Wanting to just real quick check if he could get a free magic container from Granny. He cannot.
His homewrecker would call her gatekeeping Granny strikes again.
Xarnax gets the super jump second try. Very nice. He is finally going to be able to downstab an hour and 12 minutes into the seed.
Yeah, that never feels good.
Jkoper just taking a death, doing the fairy feat. And
so,
yep, here's the valley.
There are a lot of single forest tiles out there on the east.
Yeah, he has not been checking them. Okay, there is the valley. How do you get into the valley? All right, he is gonna. I was gonna say he's definitely gonna check that forest while he's there. He did not.
Nice 700 P-Bag pickup for Xarnax.
There is a
Oh, and
block.
Okay, so we are not hammer locked.
Okay, and this P3 was flip blocked.
Yep. Which we had a starting flute, so it's wasn't really that big of an issue.
Cooper gonna see if this is a heart container. Nope, scammed again.
There isn't.
But is this the desert tile? And does it contain the heart container? He's not even gonna check.
I believe he found the desert tile earlier.
Okay.
Over by P1.
Okay. That also was not a heart container. That's fairly likely. But the rando determines what your minimum hearts are going to be, and then like your starting hearts, and then the max hearts is a random value between your starting hearts and 8. So if you start with 6, a full 1/3 of the time, there's no more. That's it.
So Xarnax with an extra palace to do, going in and grabbing this any key.
Yeah, he was also able to get the basement container as well. So he's up to 7 bars of dashing.
I'm going to start using that phrase from now on.
I mean, it's 16 magic for dash right now, so that's 7 casts.
Although I'm very surprised he decided to come back to the west. I figured he would go looking for P3.
Yeah, maybe he's thinking, well, I know so much about 6 already that 6 is going to be my best bet. I mean, if he remembers all of that stuff he did in 6 from an hour ago, it could be a pretty fast palace.
Yeah, it could be.
But I know I don't remember anything about the layout of that in 6.
Honestly, same.
Meanwhile, Cooper...
Oh, Xarnax is heading into 5.
Okay. He also had gotten pretty far into this, so I mean, these are palaces he has knowledge of.
He got to the glove and then bailed, so...
Yeah, unfortunately, the glove is just straightforward, so this knowledge not going to be that useful, but... I mean, all these casts of death, all these casts of dash, all these available lives, it's going to help him to push through quickly. Cope, we're going to try to take this cave and see if he can go west into the valley.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
It does make sense. I don't remember the layout exactly. Yes. I think you have to take this cave down and then
another cave north.
Yeah. You go across, you go north, and then you go south again. It's a fun layout.
Yeah, I was gonna say this east is something else.
Oh no, you can't go west here. What? What's going on?
Yeah, because there's the desert tile. Yeah, I'm confused. As we have Xarnax finding Guma and doing a successful jackhammer Guma too. Just ignore the amount of damage taken. But overall, successful jackhammer.
Yeah, not an easy technique.
The confusion is we're trying to get to the Valley of Death. And we don't know the way. Xarnax went to the wrong area to get back to Maze Island, unfortunately.
Okay, I did a little bit of a check to make sure the seed is not bugged. There is, in fact, a way. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. But I did actually have to check. I wanted to make sure. Nope, there is definitely a way to get into that cave. It's a little weird, but it makes sense.
And Koper going back to Maze Island. I wonder if he's going to take this water bridge that's over here.
Yeah,
to the south.
He can. He can do this. I don't know where this is. Is this the west?
Oh, this is on the west, yeah.
Yeah, this is not even on the east.
So, Doctor, this rando is different from the OG in many ways. For one thing, the flag set that we're using today is random %, which means practically all the settings in the game are set to 50-50 chance to be on or off. So, yes, for example, the palaces have been shuffled, so the palaces aren't on their vanilla continents. Let's see. The biome layouts are different on both. So we had an islands biome in the west, and this is mountainous, I believe, in the east. I'm still not good at.
This is vanilla like in the east.
Okay, I'm still not good at recognizing the biomes.
Yeah. But yeah, interestingly, I think Xarnax, wild after all of this stuff that has happened, Xarnax may be our first one into GP. He's sort of quietly caught up here just by jkoper's having a really hard time finding where on earth this GP is. And Xarnax also doesn't know where GP is, which, they're both lost and that makes them even.
And Xarnax's very liberal use of the dash has definitely helped out.
Oh, it's helped out a ton. He's just been going extremely fast. And I will tell you, this cave he's about to go into, and jkoper is also heading towards, is the right way. It looks like that cave goes up to the cave above it, but in fact, this cave spits you out all the way above the Valley of Death, so you can go back down south into it. And so right now, despite all the insanity of this seed, our runners are about 10 seconds apart from each other.
Oh wow. That Valley of Death chain is just dumb. But yeah, Doctor, so the biomes are basically the layout of the land. Is how I would describe it. So, like, if it's an islands biome, it's basically all islands. If it's a mountainous biome, generally there is and Elendar can explain this better than I can. Generally, there's like a mountain range that divides one half of the land with the other half.
All right, Koper was thinking about not taking a death here, decides to just take the death. He does have 2 casts of fairy to get through this valley.
Yeah,
2 casts of fairy per life now.
Xarnax has the magic container advantage.
Yeah, And not only does he have the magic container advantage, he is willing to cast the dash spell as much as it takes to flex it.
Yes.
And so, somewhat miraculously, Xarnax is going to be our first one into GP 123.22.
Thank you, TH. Now let's see how mean this GP is. Already have a blue chicken. That's
All right, so 20 seconds apart coming in here. And yeah, 20 seconds for runners of this caliber coming into GP here. Absolutely, basically no difference. As long as it isn't just a foot race to Darklink, then routing and combat is definitely still going to come into it. But you never know where the runners are going to take exactly the same path and also finish Darklink 20 seconds apart.
Koper having a rough time with his nearly got through to the end.
Yeah. And did he not up A? He only had 2 lives left there.
Because I think he's trying to let this experience ride and get Magic 6.
That's an interesting decision. Maybe if he has trouble with this bird again, he'll just decide to take the up A. Xarnax just killed it the first time through. It looks like attack 5 is strong enough that he didn't have too much of a problem with it. But, of course, neither runner with any safeties. We've got no life, no shield, so we do have Fairy Spell to maybe try to make a room or two a little bit easier, but Xarnax just, aside from all the dashing, going relatively slow, making sure he kills the enemies rather than try to take a chance to get past them quickly.
We're seeing some junctions on Xarnax's side.
Yeah, this room Xarnax is in does have a jar in it. Oh, I was going to say that he could potentially pick up, but no longer necessary.
Just unfortunate.
Okay, so he's determined that left is where he wants to go. He's got to be feeling behind. I don't blame him. So he is determined that this is the gamble he wants to take. Is it the right one? Man, who knows? But this is room very unpleasant. I might change my mind upon seeing this.
Yeah, we'll know in about, 15, 20 minutes whether this is the right decision or not.
Yeah, somewhere between, 2 and 20 minutes later. Thunderbird potentially required, potentially not required in this flag set.
Oof.
And yeah, this room is just, it's very rude.
So, Doctor, the Zelda 2 randomizer does have different sprites for who you want to play as. So, jkoper is playing as Trogdor from Homestar Runner fame, and Xarnax is playing as Princess Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda, one of the sprites that's baked into the game by default. Trogdor is a custom one that jkoper uses, but pretty easy support for custom sprites. It's just sort of you drop them into the folder and then they show up in the program. So hopefully we're trying to make it easier for people to do all sorts of crazy things. We have color customization. This is not the default color of Trogdor. I think he's playing on random color and got this dark brown Trogdor this time.
Also, I have no idea what direction Koper went, but he found a fairy block.
Yeah, shoutouts to Irene Punmaster for doing just a huge number of custom sprites for people in the community and everything else.
Koper's got 1 life left. And this bird is giving him a hard time.
And he's still not really close to being able to take this level.
As we find a T-bird on Xarnax's side.
Wow, taking the left turned out to be a good gamble. Well, maybe.
To be determined.
Again, there's a 50% chance that the path is required to be behind this Thunderbird, and a 50% chance that this Thunderbird is just a regular, ordinary robe in the palace. And our runners will not know, even after they have cleared the scene.
If I'm Coper, I'm taking the time to kill that bubble.
Yeah, for sure. The only he's having a little bit of trouble with it though. The only way that you know for sure whether or not Dark Thunderbird is required is the traditional go to the next room and it's a dead end. He will get an extra life for his trouble at the very least.
Yeah.
And yeah, Xarnax just zooming, wishes he had more magic to dash through these rooms.
Oh, and Coper takes a game over.
Very, very sad. But maybe this game over will get him to try a different direction. Maybe that direction is good. I don't know.
Oh no.
And there's the dead end. Thunderbird not required. So it's once again, it's anybody's race here in Mystery GP. Oh yeah, how are they moving so fast? So in the flags that they ended up rolling, one third of the time this ends up being true. The fire spell, because it kind of sucks and is useless, has been replaced with the dash spell, which doubles their acceleration and maximum speed. So you can spend some of your magic to go fast. Going fast, not guaranteed to be helpful. It could definitely be a bit of a liability going fast sometimes. And obviously, gonna cost Xarnax 16 magic a time, 1 bar per dash. But Xarnax, a big fan of just going very fast and dealing with the consequences as they come up. Coper playing a little bit safer, saving his magic for, things like Fairy Spell to take a hard room and turn it into a trivial room. But yeah, this bird just once again absolutely giving Coper the business.
Yeah, but Coper made it through. As Xarnax going a different direction now.
Yeah, the possible options for fire, each 1/3 chances, plain old regular fire, replaced by the dash spell, and our third option links fire to a random spell. So when you cast fire, you also get that spell.
So this Xarnax has found the route that Coper was on a little bit ago when Coper took that game over. So we'll see how close.
Yeah, this is the route that Coper died on. If it turns out this is the required route, Coper's not wanting to take that up A at the beginning is really gonna bite him. If this turns out to be the wrong route, then who cares? Oh, and just another waffle room with birds in it. How nice.
Nice.
That is one of those tricks that is easy to do once you do a bunch of practice at it, and really hard to do if you don't. And wow, immediately saved by a fairy. And yeah, no, fire not completely.
Oh, there's Dark Link.
There's Dark Link. Coper was right there. He was right before
Dark
Link.
No.
If he had taken the up A and he had that additional life available to him, he'd be here in this Dark Link. But no, just a little bit short for jkoper, and Xarnax has all the resources in the world to take down this Dark Zelda.
What a turn of events.
Yeah, wow. And to a large extent, I gotta credit Xarnax with all that dashing.
Yep.
The
and
extra
there it is. Get your GGs in chat for Xarnax, who finishes with an official racetime.gg time of 1:32:32.
Yeah, I mean, he was behind for a long time. He had trouble finding his way through some of that stuff, but him finding the glove first was a big improvement. The amount of dashing that he was doing, and then those extra containers, that time he spent in Death Mountain really ended up paying off in the end.
For sure. As we are joined by Xarnax himself. GG.
Thank you. I don't know how that happened.
So obviously you were a little bit lost early on.
Just a little.
The big question I have about the beginning of that race, you didn't pick up the item in 6 when you had 3 keys and you were in the item room. What was that about?
I don't recognize item rooms, I guess.
Okay, that's fair. We thought that you might have thought it was vanilla dungeon items, and we're like, added across.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I did, but I didn't. That wasn't my reasoning.
Yeah.
I mean, the glove. No, because the glove wasn't in 2. The
glove ended up. You ended up doing Death Mountain, and jkoper didn't, and that extra magic container. jkoper was on 4 containers for almost this entire race with only 1 cast of fairy, even at Magic 5, and it was killing him.
Wow.
I mean, literally, he took a lot of deaths because of it.
Right.
And
wild.
And so you were at one point you had the glove and Koper didn't, but he was 2 full palaces ahead.
Okay.
And so the containers made a big difference. You were very, very aggressively using dash, and Koper was not, obviously, because he was so short on magic.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other big thing that made a difference is that jkoper had a really, really hard time finding the Valley of Death. It was in a weird spot. And sort of while he was looking for it, you cleared P5 and found it relatively quickly, and you entered GP 20 seconds apart.
Wow. I would have guessed I was at least 20 minutes behind entering GP and just
Yeah, the big difference in GP ended up being jkoper was fairly close to a level when he entered GP.
Okay.
But he was a life down, so he didn't take an up A.
Right.
And he ended up taking a game over 1 room before Dark Link.
Oh my gosh.
And you can't. I don't think the decision he made, like a lot of things, I don't think the decision he made was wrong. It just turned out to not.
It just didn't work out.
Yeah, it just didn't work out for him.
Every other path, we're going back to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
And that was just really because you found that Thunderbird path. He was checking some different paths. We're like, we have no idea where Dark Link is going to be. And when you got back onto that same path as Koper, we were thinking, well, this is either going to be, just another wrong path, a little bit of a waste of time for you, or this is going to be extremely cruel. And it was
right.
And just checking the race room, it looks like jkoper has thrown in the towel.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
So get your GGs in chat for jkoper as well.
But yeah, despite all of that exploration, you both ended up doing the same 4 palaces.
Interesting.
P3 ended up being flute blocked, but I don't think either of you even stepped foot in it aside from taking an up A.
And we're now joined by jkoper. GGs.
Thanks, GG, Xarnax.
Thank you. Yeah, same to you. Sounds like we both had very, very different struggles. And it ended up making for a very close race.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the difference entering GP?
20 seconds.
Oh. So did you just go right at that one spot on the elevator, I guess?
He found the correct route in a different way than you. Unfortunately, Koper, that route you were on when you took a game over, you were 1 room from Dark Link.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No. And Xarnax found that route. Xarnax went a very different way to get there, so I don't know.
Yeah, I passed like 3 or 4 elevator rooms, so I knew there were going to be a lot of different branching loops.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to go back there for a while, but...
Yeah, I don't blame you. But yeah, no, it turned out that when Xarnax found a totally different route through the palace that ended up going there. We're like, well, this is either going to be a waste of time or extremely mean, and just a bunch of stuff not working out for you today.
Yeah. That's really unfortunate. I guess I'm pretty sure I had a bad death or two along the way there. I'm not sure. It was also annoying because I was close to a level.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we were going to
that's
ask about that. Because we were going to ask about not up and Aing as soon as you got to GP. Was that because you were close to the level?
Yeah, it was close. I was close to level, and I had plenty of lives on top of it. So I figured there was a good chance I'd, kill Thunderbird and then get the level. Yeah, so that would be a good refill. I may have taken a death in the first room the first time, and then I kept going because I had the experience, and that might have been a mistake. Maybe I should have up and at that point. But I don't know. You never know about this stuff.
Yeah, no, that blue chicken in that first room was very mean.
Yeah.
I imagine
Yeah,
we had the same spells, and he probably didn't have more than 5 containers either. Or
Well,
no?
I don't know about spells. I think I got 7 magic jars.
You got 7. Oh,
The
okay.
only one I didn't get was the one in the west.
Yeah, I didn't find that cave either.
I think it was Boots Block near Bagu.
Yeah. Man, did they tell you I was in one really early and just couldn't get to the boots, and I would have really liked to get there, but
Oh, no, they didn't. That would have been huge.
A couple of the early palaces you both had really rough times with.
And Xarnax had his own adventure in one as well.
So Bagu was required then, right?
I just remembered that adventure. Now, what was your question?
Yes,
What was
Bagu
required?
was required.
Yeah, logically, Bagu is required.
I can't believe was so far, or it was as close as it was, because I think I found Bagu over an hour into the race.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm
Yes.
sorry to hear that. I just randomly ran into him.
Xarnax was getting so many keys that he was just doing palaces out of logic.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that didn't happen to me. I mean, it kind of did at the end. I had a few.
I mean,
Yeah.
I honestly just no idea what my other options were. I couldn't I missed Bagu and I missed and I missed the cave to Maze Island. So I was stuck on the west and Death Mountain for an hour, and so at that point I was just like, I don't know what else I can do. So yeah, I was saving, exploring palaces, and then if I got nothing, would reset, get my keys back, and then explore a different way.
I guess it
It
was
was
for you in the end, I suppose.
yeah, apparently I was shocked that it did.
Yeah. Other than the Nerf boots really put a cramp in this whole seed, but other than that, my big problem was finding GP at the end. I couldn't figure out how we were supposed to get there, and it was just the one cave.
Yeah, it was a really interesting path to get to the Valley of Death.
Yeah, it was interesting. I explored the whole east side of the east. That took me down to what was down there?
One and
Naburu?
One and Nukasudo were down at the
One.
very
Yeah.
southeast.
Right. And
Naburu may
when
have
I
been on the way.
Yeah. Okay. So when I saw one, that path to one, I kind of saw where Valley of Death was. And then I felt like it was. Well, I guess then I went down on the other side and got down to Naburu, I was really lucky that downstab was there because I had lost where Mito was. And then yeah, from there I kind of had an idea of where to go, just because I knew where Valley of Death was, and it didn't seem like there were many options.
What was the spell in Mito again? I don't remember.
Reflect.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was definitely useful because then we
Yeah.
could do that palace. Although, yeah, I don't know. Four was annoying because of Karak was pretty far in there, and then I went and got the item, and it was just a pea bag, and I accidentally used.
Oh no!
I accidentally used reflect instead of fairy, and then I had to take an extra death because of that. So
right.
Yeah. Thankfully, I had enough lives left where I could get through the key door to see the pea bag, and then the key door to place the gem. But yeah. So did you not get reflect, or you said you had?
I did.
Okay, you did eventually.
I think I got everything but life and shield.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. I guess I don't really care what the other spells were. Did you get the magic key then?
I did.
Okay.
That was. I had 3 palaces down when I got it, but I had wasted so much time managing magic, and I also like to use dash.
Yeah.
So
it.
Plus the
Magic key makes dash really usable in a palace. Otherwise,
right. And
I didn't cast dash once actually.
Wow. I cast it a couple 100 times maybe.
Yeah. I mean, if I would have just not died in that room, then I guess I probably would have won. But
yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that room. Man, having shield would have been nice, but it was
I was.
Wait, which spells
really
did you not get? New Kasuto, Old Kasuto, or?
I didn't get the spell in New Kasuto.
Right.
I think. Is that what it was?
No.
Yeah.
And then you obviously didn't get Old Kasuto because you had 7 containers. And
I didn't even realize that requirements were on.
yeah, they were. I checked Naburu very early and had 4.
Okay.
And then I didn't get my 5th container until like I was heading to GP.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It sounds like your lack of magic was the big thing that gave me a chance.
Yeah, I mean, but I got very lucky too, just running into Begu, I guess. Though, like, I didn't do anything special. I just came off the bridge in that one area and went straight left, and
Yeah. I didn't find that area until, when I found as soon as I found that area, I found Begu.
okay.
I just somehow missed it.
Xarnax went diving through Death Mountain, I think, to find another connector to the Eastern Maze Island.
Yeah, so I'm sure you got the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And
then the magic jar.
yeah, did the hammer block anything interesting?
It was just that one block.
Okay. Ugh. Well, we had 2 interesting races. And
Yeah.
I won run, so yeah, GG. I don't know if there was anything else.
Yeah, do either of our runners or Elendar have anything else to say?
Nope, I'm pretty good. GG to both runners, and it'll be be fun going on because still round 1, so plenty of Zelda to come.
Yeah, make sure you follow both of our runners along with my co-commentator Elendar as well.
Yeah, thanks guys for doing the restream commentary tracking and everything. Thanks Xarnax for the race, and good luck to all of the people who are playing, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't exactly know what the format is, but
It's just
I think we're making it up as we go.
yeah, it's we're just doing 2 out of 3s, and then you take two losses, two overall losses in, and then you're eliminated. So it's sort of like a battle royale. Just you get eliminated as you go. You take 2 losses. So
interesting.
Everyone's still in this week. Next week we're gonna have some eliminations. So
Okay. Well, yeah, it's I love random percent. I've not played much of it in Zelda 2 at all, and I'm learning little things that I probably should already know by maybe practicing, as if that's a thing. But it's been fun to learn and discover.
Well, I was told by Elendar that practicing is cheating, so
Yeah.
instead of practicing, it's just you just play because you're bored.
Got it. But yeah, thanks again for the restream and the commentary. And well, I hope I see you again in the finals, jkoper.
That would be fun.
All right. So, again, our commentators will follow too, because they're going to be racing each other on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow we've got some OOTR Season 7 races. So stay tuned for all that. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.